take the time to train your mind. We live in a world that's obsessed with training your body, training your career, training for the next big thing. And all of that's great. I mean, who doesn't love seeing the results of hard work and discipline? But here's the thing. When was the last time you thought about training your mind? I'm not talking about just cramming information or scrolling through endless videos, convincing yourself it's educational. I'm talking about intentionally shaping the way you think, the way you process the world, and the way you engage with yourself and others. See, the mind is like a muscle. It grows stronger with use and weaker with neglect. But unlike physical muscles, which we can see in the mirror, the mind's growth isn't always obvious. You can't flex it at the gym or post it on social media. But the impact of a trained mind, it's felt in every area of your life. It's in how you react when life doesn't go your way. It's in the discipline to focus on what truly matters. It's in the strength to choose patience over anger, gratitude over envy, and courage over fear. And here's the truth. Training your mind takes effort. It's not always convenient or easy, but nothing worthwhile ever is. If you've ever tried lifting weights, you know that the first few reps burn, your muscles shake, and everything in you wants to quit. Training your mind works the same way. The first time you sit in silence to reflect, your thoughts will race. The first time you decide to confront a bad habit, it'll fight back. And the first time you choose discipline over comfort, it'll feel unnatural. But you keep at it. Why? Because you know what's on the other side of that effort. A sharper focus, a calmer presence, a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. Think about it. When you train your body, you don't just do one exercise and call it a day, right? You follow a routine. You push your limits. You rest and recover, then get back to it. Your mind deserves the same commitment. Whether it's reading something challenging, practicing mindfulness, journaling your thoughts, or simply taking time to pause and reflect on your actions, each effort compounds over time. And let's talk about distractions for a moment. Because the world we live in, it's not designed to help you train your mind. It's designed to scatter your focus, to keep you chasing the next notification, the next headline, the next piece of entertainment. But here's the good news. You don't have to be a slave to it. You have the power to take control of your mental space. It starts with saying, "Enough is enough. My attention is too valuable to give away mindlessly." When you train your mind, you're not just preparing for the good days. You're preparing for the tough ones, too. When the storms of life command, you want a mind that's resilient, grounded, and ready. A trained mind doesn't panic in chaos. It doesn't crumble under pressure. It knows how to find clarity when everything else feels uncertain. And let's not forget how a trained mind impacts the people around you. When you take the time to work on yourself, you show up better for others. Your relationships deepen. Your communication improves. Your empathy grows. And that's not just good for you, it's good for everyone you touch. So, how do you start? Small steps. Consistent actions. Set aside time each day to unplug, to think, to learn. Be intentional about what you consume, whether it's the books you read, the conversations you have, or the thoughts you entertain. And remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Training your mind isn't something you do once and forget about. It's a lifelong commitment. But the reward? A life of clarity, purpose, and strength. So take the time. Train your mind. Because in the end, the person who invests in their mind invests in their life. The mind is like a muscle light, grows stronger with intentional use. This analogy helps us understand that just as our physical body requires exercise and care to remain healthy and robust, our mind also thrives when we engage it in deliberate and consistent ways. The concept of the mind as a muscle suggests that its potential is not fixed. It can develop and adapt based on how we use it. The more we challenge it, stretch it, and nurture it, the more it grows in strength, capacity, and resilience. But, as with physical muscles, this growth does not happen passively. It requires intention, effort, and persistence. When we think about physical exercise, we know that muscles grow through a process of stress and recovery. For example, when we lift weights, we create tiny tears in the muscle fibers, and as those fibers repair themselves, they become stronger. Similarly, the mind strengthens through challenges. When we encounter difficulties, solve problems, or engage in learning, we are, in a sense, creating those small tears in our mental framework. These challenges force us to adapt, think critically, and develop new perspectives. Over time, this process enhances our cognitive abilities and emotional resilience. Intentional use of the mind involves deliberate engagement with tasks and activities that push our mental boundaries. It's easy to fall into routines that require minimal effort, scrolling through social media, binge-watching shows, or engaging in surface-level conversations. While these activities might provide temporary pleasure or distraction, they do little to exercise the mind. On the other hand, activities like reading a challenging book, learning a new skill, engaging in thoughtful conversations, or solving complex problems provide the kind of mental workout that leads to growth. These activities force us to focus, think critically, and sometimes struggle, which is exactly what the mind needs to develop. One of the key aspects of using the mind intentionally is the ability to focus. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Notifications, emails, and endless streams of content vie for our attention, pulling us in multiple directions at once. This constant fragmentation of focus weakens our ability to concentrate deeply on any one task. However, just as a muscle can be trained to lift heavier weights, the mind can be trained to sustain focus for longer periods. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, or simply setting aside time to work on a single task without interruptions help to build this mental endurance. Over time, the ability to focus becomes stronger, enabling us to tackle more complex and demanding challenges with greater ease. Another important aspect of strengthening the mind is embracing discomfort. Growth, whether physical or mental, often requires stepping out of our comfort zones. This could mean taking on a project that feels intimidating, having a difficult conversation, or pursuing a goal that seems just out of reach. These situations challenge us to think differently, adapt to new circumstances, and overcome fear or self-doubt. Each time we push through discomfort, we expand our mental capacity, proving to ourselves that we are capable of more than we initially believed. This process not only strengthens the mind, but also builds confidence and resilience. Intentional use of the mind also involves being selective about what we consume. Just as the quality of food we eat impacts our physical health, the information and ideas we expose our minds to shape our thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes. Feeding the mind with positive, thought-provoking, and inspiring content helps to cultivate a mindset of growth and possibility. Conversely, consuming negativity, shallow content, or misinformation can cloud our thinking and limit our potential. Being mindful of what we allow into our minds is a crucial part of intentional mental exercise. Reflection is another powerful tool for strengthening the mind. Taking time to think deeply about our experiences, decisions, and actions allows us to learn and grow from them. Reflection helps us identify patterns, recognize areas for improvement, and gain insights that can guide our future choices. It's a way of processing the workout our mind has been through and solidifying the lessons learned. Without reflection, we risk repeating mistakes or missing opportunities for growth. The mind also benefits from variety in its exercises. Just as a well-rounded fitness routine includes different types of workouts, cardio, strength training, flexible mental exercise should encompass a range of activities. Creative pursuits like painting, writing, or playing music stimulate different parts of the brain than logical tasks like solving math problems or analyzing data. Engaging in diverse activities helps to create a balanced and adaptable mind, one that can navigate a wide range of challenges and situations. Resilience is one of the most significant outcomes of intentionally using and strengthening the mind. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. A well-trained mind is better equipped to handle adversity with grace and determination. It can find solutions where others see obstacles, maintain perspective in the face of setbacks, and recover more quickly from disappointment. This resilience is not something we are born with. It is something we develop through intentional effort and practice. Strengthening the mind also enhances our ability to connect with others. A sharp, well-trained mind is better able to understand different perspectives, empathize with others, and communicate effectively. These skills are invaluable in both personal and professional relationships. When we take the time to nurture our mental capacities, we not only improve ourselves, but also enrich the lives of those around us. It's worth noting that rest and recovery are just as important for the mind as they are for the body. Constantly pushing ourselves without taking breaks can lead to burnout, which hinders growth rather than promoting it. Rest allows the mind to process and integrate what it has learned, much like how muscles repair and grow stronger after a workout. Activities like sleep, relaxation, and spending time in nature provide the mental rejuvenation needed to continue growing. The process of strengthening the mind is not about achieving perfection. It's about progress and commitment to growth. It's about showing up every day with the intention to learn, challenge ourselves, and be better than we were yesterday. This journey requires patience, as the results are often subtle and take time to manifest. But with consistent effort, the cumulative effect of these small intentional actions becomes profound. Taking the time to train the mind is an investment in our overall well-being. A strong mind leads to better decision-making, greater emotional stability, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. It enhances every aspect of our lives, from our careers to our relationships to our sense of self. This growth is not just for the individual. It has a ripple effect, influencing the people we interact with and the environments we are part of. The potential of the mind is vast, and its capacity for growth is limitless. By treating it like the muscle it is, and by using it with intention and care, we unlock its full potential and discover what we are truly capable of achieving. Training your mind requires consistent effort and discipline. This is a principle that applies universally, whether we are seeking personal growth, professional success, or emotional stability. Just as the body needs regular exercise to stay fit and healthy, the mind requires a structured, deliberate approach to maintain and enhance its capabilities. Without consistent effort, the mind can easily fall into patterns of negativity, distraction, or stagnation. However, with discipline and regular practice, it becomes sharper, more focused, and more resilient. The first step in training the mind is recognizing that it is a continuous process, not a one-time event. It's tempting to look for shortcuts, quick fixes, or instant solutions, but true mental growth doesn't work that way. It requires daily commitment, even when it feels inconvenient or difficult. Much like developing a physical habit, such as exercising or eating well, mental discipline is built over time through repeated actions. Each small effort contributes to the overall strength and capacity of the mind, creating a foundation for long-term growth. Consistency in mental training also means showing up even when motivation wanes. There will be days when it feels easier to give in to distractions, procrastinate, or avoid the effort altogether. But discipline is about acting in alignment with your goals, regardless of how you feel in the moment. It's about prioritizing what matters most and staying committed to the process, even when it feels tedious or unexciting. Over time, this persistence builds not only mental strength, but also a deep sense of self-trust and integrity. One of the most effective ways to train the mind is through intentional focus. In today's fast-paced, technology-driven world, attention has become a rare and valuable resource. The constant barrage of notifications, emails, and social media updates pulls us in countless directions, making it difficult to concentrate on any one task for an extended period. This scattered focus weakens our ability to think deeply, solve problems, and make sound decisions. Consistent effort to reclaim and direct our attention is therefore essential. Practices like mindfulness meditation, deep work sessions, or simply setting aside time to be fully present in the moment can help retrain the brain to focus and stay engaged. Another crucial aspect of mental discipline is learning to manage and redirect thoughts. The mind is often filled with chatter worries, doubts, fears, and distractions that can easily derail our focus and productivity. Training the mind involves recognizing these thought patterns and consciously choosing which ones to entertain and which to let go of. This requires practice and self-awareness. For example, when a negative or self-critical thought arises, instead of allowing it to spiral out of control, we can pause, acknowledge it, and replace it with a more constructive perspective. Over time, this habit of redirecting thoughts strengthens the mind's ability to maintain a positive and solution-oriented outlook. Discipline in mental training also involves setting clear goals and intentions. Without a sense of direction, it's easy to feel aimless or overwhelmed. By defining what we want to achieve, whether it's improving our emotional resilience, enhancing our problem-solving skills, or cultivating a more positive mindset, we give ourselves a roadmap to follow. These goals provide structure and motivation, helping us stay focused and consistent in our efforts. It's important to regularly review and adjust these goals as we grow and evolve, ensuring that our mental training remains aligned with our values and priorities. Building discipline in mental training often requires stepping outside of our comfort zones. Growth happens when we challenge ourselves, whether it's by taking on a difficult project, learning a new skill, or confronting a fear. These experiences push the boundaries of what we believe we are capable of, forcing us to adapt, persevere, and think creatively. While stepping into discomfort can be intimidating, it is also incredibly rewarding. Each time we face a challenge head-on, we not only strengthen our mental capabilities, but also build confidence in our ability to handle adversity. A key component of consistent mental effort is cultivating healthy habits that support cognitive and emotional well-being. This includes practices such as regular reading, journaling, engaging in meaningful conversations, and seeking out new knowledge or perspectives. These activities stimulate the brain, enhance critical thinking, and foster a sense of curiosity and openness. They also create a positive feedback loop, where the more we engage in these habits, the more motivated we become to continue them. Discipline in mental training also extends to managing our environment. The people, spaces, and stimuli we surround ourselves with have a significant impact on our thoughts, behaviors, and overall mindset. By creating an environment that supports focus, learning, and positivity, we make it easier to stay consistent in our mental training. This might involve decluttering our physical spaces, limiting exposure to negative influences, or surrounding ourselves with individuals who inspire and uplift us. These seemingly small adjustments can have a profound effect on our ability to maintain mental discipline. Self-compassion plays an important role in the process of mental training. Consistent effort does not mean perfection, and there will inevitably be moments when we falter or make mistakes. Instead of being overly critical or harsh with ourselves, it's essential to approach these moments with kindness and understanding. Acknowledge the slip-up, learn from it, and recommit to the process. This mindset not only reduces stress and self-doubt, but also makes it more sustainable to stay disciplined over the long term. Rest and recovery are equally important in maintaining consistency and discipline. Just as the body needs time to recharge after physical exertion, the mind requires periods of rest to process and integrate what it has learned. Sleep, relaxation, and moments of quiet reflection are essential for mental rejuvenation. These practices allow the brain to consolidate memories, make connections, and gain clarity. Far from being a sign of laziness or weakness, rest is a crucial component of mental training that enables us to show up fully and consistently in our efforts. Another aspect of discipline in mental training is the ability to say no to distractions and temptations that do not align with our goals. This often requires setting boundaries with ourselves and others, whether it's limiting screen time, declining invitations that don't serve our priorities, or creating a schedule that protects time for focused work and personal growth. These boundaries help us stay aligned with our intentions, making it easier to remain consistent in our mental training. Discipline is also about embracing the process, even when progress feels slow or invisible. Mental growth is often subtle and incremental, and it can be tempting to give up when results aren't immediately apparent. However, the cumulative effect of consistent effort is powerful. Each small action, whether it's reading a single page, meditating for 5 minutes, or practicing a skill for a few moments, adds up over time, leading to significant and lasting changes. One of the most rewarding aspects of consistent mental training is the sense of empowerment it brings. When we commit to the process and see ourselves following through on our intentions, we develop a deep sense of self-efficacy. This belief in our ability to shape our thoughts, actions, and outcomes creates a positive cycle of growth and motivation. The more we practice discipline, the more confident we become in our ability to achieve our goals, which in turn fuels further effort and consistency. Ultimately, training the mind with consistent effort and discipline is a gift we give ourselves. It allows us to navigate life's challenges with greater ease, approach opportunities with clarity and focus, and experience a deeper sense of fulfillment and purpose. This journey requires patience, perseverance, and a willingness to embrace the ups and downs of the process, but the rewards are immeasurable. Small daily actions compound into significant mental growth. This idea serves as a reminder that meaningful progress does not come from grand gestures or monumental changes overnight. Instead, it is the consistent, deliberate effort we make each day that leads to lasting transformation. The cumulative power of small actions is often underestimated because their impact is not immediately visible. However, over time, these seemingly minor efforts build upon one another, creating a foundation for growth that becomes stronger and more evident with persistence. When considering the mind, small actions might include simple habits like reading a few pages of a book, journaling thoughts and reflections, practicing mindfulness for a few minutes, or engaging in a meaningful conversation. These activities might seem insignificant in isolation, but their regular repetition fosters mental clarity, sharpens focus, and cultivates resilience. By committing to these small practices daily, the mind adapts and grows, much like how the body responds to consistent exercise. The principle of compounding is powerful because it recognizes that growth is not linear. Early on, the changes may be imperceptible, leading to frustration or doubt about whether the effort is worth it. This is where many people falter, expecting immediate results and losing motivation when they don't see quick progress. However, the key lies in understanding that growth often occurs beneath the surface, like a seed that has been planted and nurtured. It takes time for the roots to develop before the sprout becomes visible. Each small action is like watering that seed, providing the nourishment needed for it to eventually flourish. Another benefit of small daily actions is their accessibility. Large, ambitious goals can feel overwhelming and unattainable, leading to procrastination or avoidance. In contrast, breaking those goals into manageable bite-sized steps makes them feel achievable. For instance, rather than aiming to master a new skill in a short period, committing to practice it for 10-15 minutes each day feels more realistic. Over weeks and months, that practice accumulates into expertise. This approach not only reduces the intimidation factor, but also builds confidence, as each small success reinforces the belief in one's ability to progress. The consistency of daily actions also helps establish habits, which are critical for long-term mental growth. Habits automate behavior, making it easier to sustain positive practices without relying on willpower alone. Initially, forming a habit requires conscious effort and discipline, but with repetition, the action becomes second nature. For example, setting aside time every morning to reflect or meditate might feel challenging at first, but over time, it becomes an ingrained part of the routine. Once a habit is established, it serves as a reliable foundation for continued growth, requiring less effort to maintain while still yielding significant benefits. One of the reasons small actions are so effective is that they create momentum. Starting small allows us to overcome inertia, which is often the biggest barrier to taking action. A single step, no matter how small, sets the process in motion. This momentum then makes it easier to take the next step, creating a positive cycle of effort and progress. For example, committing to write just one sentence can lead to writing an entire paragraph, then a page, and eventually a completed piece of work. The key is simply to begin, trusting that the initial effort will pave the way for continued action. The compounding effect of small actions extends beyond the immediate task or goal. These actions often influence other areas of life, creating a ripple effect of positive change. For instance, developing the habit of daily gratitude can enhance overall well-being, improve relationships, and increase emotional resilience. Similarly, committing to lifelong learning through small, consistent efforts, like reading or taking short courses, not only expands knowledge but also boosts confidence and adaptability in various situations. These interconnected benefits demonstrate how the impact of small actions multiplies over time, far beyond their initial scope. Small, consistent actions also teach the value of patience and persistence. In a culture that often prioritizes instant gratification, the practice of committing to daily effort fosters a deeper appreciation for the process of growth. It encourages a shift in focus from immediate results to long-term progress. This mindset not only reduces frustration, but also enhances resilience, as setbacks are seen as temporary obstacles rather than insurmountable failures. By embracing the journey and trusting in the compounding power of small actions, we develop a greater capacity to persevere through challenges and uncertainties. The impact of small actions is not limited to personal growth. It also influences how we interact with others and the world around us. Acts of kindness, no matter how small, can have a profound effect on the lives of others. A simple gesture, like offering a compliment, lending a listening ear, or helping someone in need, may seem trivial in the moment, but can leave a lasting impression. These actions also reinforce a sense of connection and purpose, contributing to a more positive and supportive environment. Over time, these small acts accumulate into a legacy of compassion and impact that extends far beyond the individual. The principle of compounding applies to mental challenges as well. Just as small, positive actions build mental strength, small, unchecked habits or patterns of negativity can erode it. For example, repeatedly avoiding difficult conversations, indulging in self-doubt, or procrastinating on important tasks can gradually undermine confidence and create a cycle of stagnation. This underscores the importance of being intentional about the actions we choose to take each day. By consistently choosing constructive behaviors, we not only prevent negative patterns from taking hold, but also actively cultivate a mindset of growth and positivity. An important aspect of committing to small daily actions is celebrating progress along the way. Acknowledging even the smallest victories reinforces the effort and keeps motivation high. For instance, recognizing the completion of a week of consistent journaling, the acquisition of a new skill, or the improvement of focus during meditation helps maintain enthusiasm for the practice. These celebrations serve as reminders that growth is happening, even if the overall goal feels distant. They also create a sense of accomplishment, which fuels the desire to continue. The process of growth through small actions also enhances self-awareness. Each step requires us to pay attention to our thoughts, behaviors, and reactions, deepening our understanding of ourselves. This awareness enables us to identify areas for improvement, recognize patterns, and make intentional adjustments. Over time, this ongoing process of reflection and refinement leads to a more authentic and aligned version of ourselves, one that is better equipped to navigate the complexities of life. The beauty of small daily actions lies in their adaptability. They tailored to fit any goal, schedule, or lifestyle, making them accessible to everyone. Whether it's spending a few minutes practicing gratitude, taking a short walk to clear the mind, or dedicating time to learn something new, these actions can be seamlessly integrated into daily routines. This flexibility ensures that mental growth remains a priority, even amidst the demands and challenges of everyday life. Ultimately, the power of small actions is a testament to the idea that progress is built through consistency and intention. It's not about making drastic changes or achieving perfection overnight, but about showing up each day and doing what we can. These small efforts, repeated over time, create a ripple effect of growth that transforms not only our minds but also our lives. Negative thoughts left unchecked can spiral into destructive patterns. This simple yet profound truth underscores the importance of cultivating awareness and intentionality in managing our mental landscape. The human mind, naturally inclined to wander, often gravitates toward negative thoughts, worries, fears, self-doubt, or criticisms. While such thoughts are a normal part of the human experience, allowing them to linger unchecked can lead to a cascade of harmful consequences. What begins as a fleeting moment of self-doubt can evolve into a persistent belief in one's inadequacy, shaping decisions, behaviors, and ultimately, outcomes in life. Negative thoughts are powerful because they feed on repetition. The more they are entertained, the stronger they become, forming neural pathways in the brain that make them easier to access in the future. This process is known as neuroplasticity, where the brain adapts and reorganizes itself based on repeated experiences and thoughts. If negativity dominates, the brain becomes wired to see and expect the worst in situations, reinforcing a cycle of pessimism and discouragement. Over time, this cycle can lead to anxiety, depression, and a diminished sense of self-worth. The danger of unchecked negative thoughts lies in their ability to distort perception. They act like a filter, coloring how we interpret events, relationships, and even our own abilities. A single mistake can be blown out of proportion, perceived as evidence of failure rather than a learning opportunity. Criticism from others might feel like a personal attack, even when it's constructive or mild. These distorted perceptions not only impact how we feel, but also influence the choices we make. A person trapped in negative thought patterns might avoid taking risks, pursuing opportunities, or building connections, limiting their potential and experiences. One of the most insidious aspects of negative thoughts is their subtlety. They often appear as internal dialogues that seem reasonable or justified. For example, thoughts like, "I'll never be good enough," or "Why even try?" can feel like honest assessments rather than harmful narratives. This makes them harder to challenge or recognize as destructive. They quietly erode confidence and motivation, creating a sense of helplessness or resignation. Without awareness, these thoughts can spiral further, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy where the fear of failure leads to inaction, which then confirms the fear. Unchecked negative thoughts also impact emotional well-being. They fuel feelings of anger, sadness, frustration, and hopelessness, making it harder to find joy or contentment in daily life. These emotions can become overwhelming, leading to a state of chronic stress or emotional exhaustion. The mind, consumed by negativity, struggles to find balance or perspective, creating a sense of being stuck or trapped. This emotional turmoil not only affects the individual but can also strain relationships, as negativity spills over into interactions with others. Physically, the impact of unchecked negative thoughts can be profound. Chronic stress, often fueled by negative thinking, triggers the body's fight-or-flight response. While this response is helpful in short bursts, prolonged activation can lead to a host of health issues, including high blood pressure, weakened immune function, and digestive problems. The mind and body are deeply interconnected, and what happens in one inevitably affects the other. Persistent negativity drains energy, disrupts sleep, and impairs overall well-being, creating a vicious cycle where poor physical health reinforces negative mental states. Breaking free from the spiral of negative thoughts requires conscious effort and practice. The first step is awareness, recognizing when negative thoughts arise and identifying their patterns. This might involve paying attention to triggers, such as specific situations, people, or stressors that tend to provoke negativity. By observing these patterns without judgment, it becomes possible to create space between the thought and the reaction. This space is crucial for interrupting the cycle and choosing a more constructive response. Once awareness is established, the next step is challenging negative thoughts. This involves questioning their validity and examining the evidence that supports or contradicts them. For instance, if the thought, "I'm not good enough," arises, it's helpful to ask, what evidence do I have for this belief? Are there examples of times when I succeeded or overcame challenges? This process of inquiry reveals that many negative thoughts are based on assumptions or distorted perceptions rather than facts. By challenging these thoughts, their grip on the mind weakens, creating room for more balanced and empowering perspectives. Replacing negative thoughts with positive or neutral ones is another effective strategy. This doesn't mean ignoring or suppressing negativity, but rather reframing it in a way that promotes growth and resilience. For example, instead of thinking, "I failed, so I'm a failure," it can be reframed as, "I failed, but I can learn from this experience and try again." This shift in perspective acknowledges the reality of the situation while focusing on possibilities rather than limitations. Over time, this practice rewires the brain to default to more constructive thought patterns, reducing the likelihood of spiraling into negativity. Cultivating gratitude is a powerful antidote to negative thinking. When the mind is focused on what is lacking or going wrong, it can feel overwhelming and disheartening. Shifting focus to what is good, however small, creates a sense of balance and perspective. Daily gratitude practices, such as writing down 3 things to be thankful for, train the brain to notice and appreciate the positive aspects of life. This not only reduces negativity, but also fosters a sense of contentment and optimism that strengthens resilience in the face of challenges. Mindfulness is another effective tool for managing negative thoughts. By bringing attention to the present moment, mindfulness helps break the habit of ruminating on the past or worrying about the future, two common sources of negativity. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation or deep breathing, encourage a non-judgmental awareness of thoughts as they arise. This creates an opportunity to observe negative thoughts without becoming entangled in them, allowing them to pass like clouds in the sky. Over time, mindfulness strengthens the ability to remain calm and centered, even in the presence of negativity. Surrounding oneself with supportive and positive influences also plays a significant role in counteracting negativity. The people we interact with, the content we consume, and the environments we inhabit all shape our mental landscape. Seeking out relationships and experiences that uplift and inspire can help counterbalance the pull of negativity. This might involve spending time with encouraging friends, reading empowering books, or engaging in activities that bring joy and fulfillment. By creating a positive external environment, it becomes easier to maintain a constructive internal dialogue. It's important to remember that managing negative thoughts is a journey, not a destination. There will be moments when negativity feels overwhelming or persistent, and that's okay. The goal is not to eliminate negative thoughts entirely. That's an unrealistic expectation, but to develop the tools and resilience to navigate them effectively. Each step, no matter how small, contributes to a healthier and more balanced mindset, gradually diminishing the power of negativity over time. The mind, like a muscle, grows stronger with consistent and intentional training. This idea serves as a powerful reminder that mental strength is not something innate or fixed. It is a skill that can be cultivated through deliberate effort. Just as physical fitness requires regular exercise, mental fitness depends on practices that challenge and develop the mind's capabilities. By committing to this process, we not only build resilience, but also enhance our ability to navigate life's complexities with clarity and confidence. The process of strengthening the mind begins with understanding its nature. The mind is incredibly adaptable, capable of learning, unlearning, and relearning throughout life. This neuroplasticity means that the way we think, perceive, and react is not set in stone but shaped by our experiences and habits. Recognizing this adaptability is empowering because it underscores our agency in shaping our mental landscape. It means that with consistent training, we can rewire our thought patterns, overcome limitations, and cultivate qualities like focus, resilience, and emotional intelligence. Training the mind often involves practices that promote awareness and self-reflection. These practices encourage us to observe our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without judgment, creating space for intentional change. For example, mindfulness meditation is a widely recognized tool for mental training. By focusing on the present moment and observing thoughts as they arise, we develop greater awareness of our mental processes. This awareness allows us to identify patterns that may be unhelpful or limiting and replace them with more constructive approaches. Over time, this practice builds mental clarity and reduces reactivity, enabling us to respond to challenges with greater composure. Another aspect of mental training is setting and pursuing goals. Goals provide direction and purpose, challenging the mind to stretch beyond its comfort zone. When we set clear, meaningful objectives, we engage the mind in problem-solving, planning, and perseverance. The process of working toward a goal requires focus, determination, and adaptability, all of which strengthen mental resilience. Each step taken toward the goal, no matter how small, reinforces the belief in our ability to overcome obstacles and achieve success. This sense of accomplishment fuels motivation and builds confidence, creating a positive cycle of growth. Critical thinking is another essential component of mental training. In a world filled with information and opinions, the ability to analyze, evaluate, and synthesize ideas is invaluable. Critical thinking challenges the mind to question assumptions, consider multiple perspectives, and draw well-reasoned conclusions. It requires curiosity, open-mindedness, and a willingness to engage with complexity. By honing this skill, we become better equipped to navigate ambiguity, make informed decisions, and solve problems effectively. This not only enhances our intellectual capabilities, but also empowers us to approach life's uncertainties with confidence and discernment. Emotional regulation is a key element of mental strength, and training the mind in this area involves developing awareness and control over our emotional responses. Emotions are a natural and important part of the human experience, but when left unchecked, they can overwhelm and cloud judgment. Practices such as deep breathing, journaling, or cognitive reframing help us process emotions constructively rather than reacting impulsively. By learning to manage emotions, we create a sense of inner stability that allows us to navigate difficult situations with grace and resilience. This emotional intelligence not only benefits us personally, but also enhances our relationships and interactions with others. The role of habits in mental training cannot be overstated. Our habits shape our daily lives and, by extension, our mental landscape. Positive habits, such as regular exercise, adequate sleep, and healthy eating, provide the physical foundation for mental well-being. Cognitive habits, such as practicing gratitude, engaging in lifelong learning, and setting aside time for reflection, directly contribute to mental growth. Cultivating these habits requires consistency and commitment, but the rewards are profound. Over time, these practices become second nature, creating a supportive environment for continued mental development. Challenging ourselves intellectually is another way to train the mind. This might involve learning a new skill, exploring unfamiliar topics, or engaging in activities that require focus and creativity. These challenges push the mind to adapt, grow, and expand its capabilities. For example, learning a new language involves memorization, problem-solving, and cultural exploration, all of which stimulate cognitive growth. Similarly, activities like playing a musical instrument, solving puzzles, or engaging in debates require concentration and critical thinking, fostering mental agility and resilience. Resilience is a key outcome of mental training, and it is developed through facing and overcoming adversity. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. But how we respond to these challenges is what defines our mental strength. Training the mind to view setbacks as opportunities for growth rather than as failures builds resilience. This mindset encourages us to embrace discomfort and persevere through difficulties, knowing that each challenge is a stepping stone toward greater strength and understanding. Over time, this resilience becomes a core part of our character, enabling us to thrive in the face of uncertainty and change. The mind's connection to the body also plays a crucial role in mental training. Physical activity, for instance, has been shown to enhance cognitive function, improve mood, and reduce stress. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, supporting its health and vitality. Practices like yoga or Tai Chi, which combine physical movement with mindfulness, offer additional benefits by promoting balance, focus, and relaxation. These activities remind us that mental and physical health are deeply interconnected, and that caring for one supports the other. Training the mind also involves nurturing creativity and imagination. These qualities allow us to think beyond the constraints of logic and explore new possibilities. Creative pursuits, such as writing, painting, or storytelling, engage different parts of the brain, fostering innovation and emotional expression. Imagination helps us envision goals, solve problems, and approach life with a sense of wonder and curiosity. By making time for creative activities, we enrich our mental landscape and open ourselves to new ways of thinking and being. The importance of rest and recovery in mental training should not be overlooked. Just as the body needs rest to repair and grow stronger, the mind requires downtime to process information and recharge. Sleep, in particular, plays a critical role in cognitive function, memory consolidation, and emotional regulation. Ensuring adequate rest allows the mind to function at its best, enhancing focus, creativity, and decision-making. Practices such as meditation, mindfulness, or simply taking breaks throughout the day provide additional opportunities for mental rejuvenation. A supportive environment is essential for effective mental training. Surrounding ourselves with positive influence, whether they are people, ideas, or experience, creates a foundation for growth. Encouraging relationships, inspiring mentors, and stimulating environments all contribute to a mental ecosystem that fosters strength and resilience. Conversely, toxic influences such as negativity, criticism, or distractions can hinder progress. Being intentional about the company we keep and the environments we inhabit ensures that our mental training is supported rather than undermined. Finally, perspective is a vital aspect of mental strength. The way we interpret events, challenges, and successes shapes our experience and influences our growth. Training the mind to adopt a growth mindset, which views challenges as opportunities and failures as learning experiences, fosters a sense of empowerment and possibility. This perspective encourages us to focus on what we can control, let go of what we cannot, and find meaning in every situation. By cultivating this outlook, we create a mental framework that supports growth, resilience, and fulfillment. Discipline is the bridge between intention and achievement. It is the force that transforms aspirations into reality, guiding individuals from the initial spark of an idea to the tangible results of success. While passion and motivation might ignite the journey, it is discipline that sustains it, providing the consistency and resilience needed to overcome challenges and stay the course. Without discipline, even the most ambitious goals can remain unfulfilled, lost in the gap between what we want to achieve and the actions required to make it happen. At its core, discipline is about making choices aligned with long-term goals, even when those choices may be difficult or inconvenient in the moment. It requires a clear understanding of priorities and a commitment to honoring them consistently. For example, someone striving to improve their physical health must choose regular exercise, balanced nutrition, and adequate rest over habits that hinder progress. These decisions may not always be easy, especially when faced with temptations or distractions, but discipline empowers individuals to prioritize what truly matters over fleeting desires. One of the key aspects of discipline is self-control, the ability to regulate emotions, impulses, and behaviors in the pursuit of a goal. Self-control allows individuals to resist short-term gratifications that conflict with their long-term objectives. It requires an awareness of one's tendencies and triggers, as well as strategies to manage them effectively. For instance, someone working to reduce procrastination might set specific deadlines, break tasks into smaller steps, and create an environment that minimizes distractions. These actions, though small, build the foundation for sustained progress, demonstrating how discipline manifests in everyday decisions. Discipline is also deeply tied to habits, which are the building blocks of consistent behavior. When positive habits are cultivated, discipline becomes less about willpower and more about routine. For example, someone who establishes a habit of waking up early to exercise no longer has to debate whether to work out each morning. It becomes a natural part of their day. This automation of actions reduces the mental effort required to stay disciplined, freeing up energy for other pursuits. Over time, these habits compound, leading to significant progress and a sense of mastery. The role of discipline in overcoming obstacles cannot be overstated. Every journey toward achievement is marked by challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. Discipline provides the strength to persevere through these difficulties, reminding individuals of their purpose and the larger vision they are working toward. It helps them reframe failures as opportunities for growth rather than as reasons to give up. For instance, an entrepreneur facing repeated rejections might draw on discipline to keep refining their approach, learning from feedback, and staying committed to their vision despite the odds. Discipline also fosters resilience, which is essential for navigating the ups and downs of any endeavor. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, and it is closely linked to the habits and mindsets developed through discipline. When individuals consistently show up for themselves and their goals, they build confidence in their ability to handle challenges. This confidence acts as a buffer against discouragement, enabling them to stay focused and motivated even in the face of setbacks. Discipline and resilience work together to create a cycle of growth, where each instance of perseverance strengthens the capacity to overcome future obstacles. Another critical aspect of discipline is time management. Achieving meaningful goals requires effective allocation of time and energy, both of which are limited resources. Discipline helps individuals prioritize tasks, set boundaries, and avoid distractions that can derail progress. For example, a student preparing for exams might use discipline to create a study schedule, limit social media usage, and focus on the most important topics. By managing their time effectively, they maximize their efforts and ensure steady progress toward their objectives. Discipline also plays a vital role in personal growth and self-improvement. It encourages individuals to consistently seek knowledge, develop skills, and push beyond their comfort zones. This commitment to growth requires discipline to maintain focus and effort, even when progress feels slow or challenges arise. For instance, Learning a new language or mastering a musical instrument demands regular practice and patience. The disciplined pursuit of these endeavors not only leads to proficiency, but also fosters a sense of fulfillment and confidence that extends to other areas of life. The relationship between discipline and mindset is also significant. A disciplined individual often cultivates a growth mindset, the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. This mindset reinforces the value of discipline, as it emphasizes the importance of consistent effort over innate talent. With a growth mindset, setbacks are seen as opportunities to improve rather than as indicators of failure. This perspective fuels motivation and persistence, creating a positive feedback loop where discipline strengthens mindset and mindset reinforces discipline. Discipline is not about perfection, rather, it is about progress and consistency. Perfectionism can be a barrier to discipline, as it sets unrealistic expectations and fosters a fear of failure. True discipline acknowledges that mistakes and setbacks are a natural part of the process and focuses on steady improvement over time. For example, a writer aiming to complete a novel might set a goal of writing a certain number of words each day, knowing that some days will be more productive than others. By prioritizing consistency over perfection, they build momentum and maintain progress. The connection between discipline and purpose is profound. When individuals are clear about their values and aspirations, discipline becomes a natural extension of their commitment to those goals. Purpose provides the motivation to stay disciplined, even when challenges arise or motivation wanes. For example, an athlete training for a competition may endure grueling workouts and sacrifices because they are deeply connected to their goal of achieving peak performance. This sense of purpose not only fuels discipline, but also infuses the journey with meaning and fulfillment. Discipline also enhances relationships, as it fosters qualities such as reliability, empathy, and effective communication. Being disciplined in honoring commitments, showing up for others, and practicing active listening builds trust and strengthens connections. For instance, a parent who consistently prioritizes quality time with their children demonstrates discipline in nurturing those relationships, creating a foundation of love and security. Similarly, discipline in managing emotions and resolving conflicts constructively contributes to healthier and more harmonious interactions. The impact of discipline extends beyond individual achievements. It also influences the broader community and society. Disciplined individuals serve as role models, inspiring others to pursue their goals with determination and integrity. Their efforts often contribute to collective progress, whether through innovation, leadership, or acts of service. For example, a scientist dedicated to solving global challenges exemplifies the power of discipline to drive meaningful change. By staying committed to their work, they inspire others to believe in the potential for progress and contribute to solutions. Ultimately, discipline is a skill that can be cultivated by anyone willing to put in the effort. It requires self-awareness, intentionality, and a willingness to embrace discomfort in pursuit of growth. Each act of discipline strengthens the mental and emotional muscles needed to sustain it, creating a virtuous cycle of improvement and achievement. Whether applied to personal goals, professional aspirations, or relationships, discipline serves as the foundation for a fulfilling and purposeful life. It bridges the gap between where we are and where we want to be, reminding us that consistent effort and commitment have the power to transform dreams into reality. In conclusion, discipline is the cornerstone of progress and achievement, bridging the divide between aspirations and reality. It empowers individuals to overcome challenges, cultivate resilience, and align daily actions with long-term goals. By embracing discipline, we not only unlock our potential, but also inspire others to strive for growth and excellence. This commitment to consistent effort transforms intentions into meaningful accomplishments, ensuring a life of purpose and fulfillment. Thank you.